back to my channel. It's Brittany if you're new here. In today's video, I thought I would share with you all my experience with getting a D&C. So if you have been following me, you guys know, sadly, this last pregnancy didn't work out and ended up being an empty gestational sac, which is also called a blighted ovum. So basically the embryo never attached, but still my body grew a sac and placenta, and my body would still continue to grow this until it decides to miscarry. So I decided to do the D&C just because I just didn't want to wait and go through this anymore. I mean, I knew the pregnancy would not move on, there was no baby. So basically my doctor gave me 3 options. So it was either do a D&C or have my body pass it naturally, which he can't tell me when I'm going to miscarry. So basically I could hold on to this for another month or so. And then there was also another option of he would give me medication. I forget what it's called. He'd give me medication to put my body basically into preterm labor and have me pass it myself. So I already kind of knew in my head that I wanted to go the D&C route just because it's not as emotional. I mean, it's still emotional, but again, I just didn't want to sit and wait for this to happen, especially if it was going to be another month, because then that means it's more tissue, more cramping, it'd be a lot more painful. So, and I also work part-time, and I just can't, I don't want this to happen at work, and I have a 19-month-old, so I just wanted to get it taken care of and just move on, basically. So yeah. So luckily he was able to fit me in the very next day. I went in last Thursday, and that's where I got this all confirmed, and that is my last video I just posted, is when I found everything out. So I'll link that down below if you haven't watched it. It's pretty emotional. But yeah, so anyways, I went in the very next day, and I had to get blood work taken the day before just to make sure everything's all right, just in case I needed a blood transfusion or anything like that, but luckily none of that happened. So I went in at 12 o'clock. I had to just fill out paperwork, and it just takes a bit to get you situated in the hospital. I had it done, yeah, at my hospital right by my house in the outpatient center, and I filled out all the paperwork, and then I basically didn't have to wait very long. It was pretty quick. So they checked me in the room, and it was just basically a room that was like the recovery when you were done, and then the surgery, they do the surgery in a different room. So they had me all set up. They had to give me an IV and all of that, and just make sure everything was okay. Wanted to know my medical history and all that. My nurse was really awesome. Everything went really smooth. And then basically the anesthesiologist came over and just explained to me what's going to happen. So it's they put they call it like a cocktail or whatever, and they put it in my IV, and basically he said it's just gonna act like I'm gonna act a little drunk or whatever, woozy, and then they take me in, and I'm basically just gonna wake up like nothing ever happened. So basically that's what happened. I was pretty nervous just because, like I said, I've never had this done before. I've never been put out. I've only been put out for my wisdom teeth, but he said that's completely different than this. But he gave me the IV, or the cocktail in my IV, and literally right away I felt it go in my veins. It's a weird feeling, and instantly I felt it. And yeah, it just felt like I had a little buzz. Then they wheeled me in the room, and the room was pretty creepy, I'm not gonna lie. It was just freezing, and they have like these huge lights, and then basically I had to scoot over onto the surgery bed, and then before I know it, I'm laying down, and they put a breathing mask over you, and that's all I remember. And then basically I woke up like perfect how I was before, in my little hospital gown, and I was just talking to the anesthesiologist, and it was funny, I ended up knowing him. I went to school with his daughter, so that was pretty comforting, just knowing him. He was super nice. But yeah, I just woke up like nothing happened. I was in no pain whatsoever, no cramping, and also he gave me a shot. I think this was, or maybe he put it in the cocktail, I don't know. He just said he gave me a shot that basically is a stronger dosage of ibuprofen to prevent nausea and cramping. And yeah, literally when I woke up, you guys, I had none of that. It's like nothing ever happened. I still can't believe it, and I'm still happy I chose that route. And then my husband came and picked me up, and then I just went home. So that was on Friday, and yeah, the rest of the day I was completely fine. So yeah, and then I was bleeding, but it was minimal bleeding. It was like a period. And yeah, I just took it easy the rest of the day. And then the next day on Saturday, same thing. I felt completely fine. I didn't have to take any Tylenol or ibuprofen. That's what he told me to get if I started feeling in pain, and just to kind of alternate with the two. But I honestly didn't need to take any of that. So Saturday we took it easy as well. My in-laws came over later that day and we just relaxed. And then Sunday was the first day I actually had to take Tylenol. I was having more cramping than I was the first 2 days, and more blood. Sorry, TMI. I'm just being honest with you guys. So the third day ended up being like more of a heavier period. So I took a Tylenol that day, and then today is Monday and I took another Tylenol. So basically now it's a little bit heavier, but it's not bad at all. And basically you have to kind of watch out for that too. He said if I'm bleeding a lot, then to call him. If I have a fever, diarrhea, those are all symptoms just kind of look out for. And but I've had none of that. So if anything, it's a little bit more cramping now, a little bit more heavier period. But otherwise, my experience was really good, you guys. I mean, obviously, it is what it is. It's sad, but now I feel like I can move on, and yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing else really to say, but I had a good experience with the D&C. So if you, hopefully none of you guys ever have to go through this. Like I said, it's not fun. It's emotional. Even though there was no baby, it was still emotional. I was still pregnant, and some people think that it's not because there was no baby, but I was still pregnant. And yeah, so I feel for you if you've gone through this, or if you're further along, or if there was a baby and not seeing a heartbeat, just all of it. Like I said, there's all these different types of miscarriages that you can have, which I had no idea. I just honestly thought you just miscarry. I didn't know there was all this stuff going into it. So now I'm aware, now I've gone through it, but I will get through this, and already I'm starting to feel better every day. I'm feeling better. I mean, right after it, I was emotional. Later that night, I cried again, and they say it's all normal. I mean, my body's still, my hormones are trying to get back into place and all that. But overall, it was a very good experience, even though under the circumstances. But I would recommend doing the D&C if you're going through this or something similar. This was the least, I would think, not as emotional than if you have to pass it yourself or take the medication. I actually know someone that tried the medication route and it ended up not working, so she ended up being further along. So that's why I was like, all right, I am just going to do this and get it taken care of. So now it's all taken care of. I go see my doctor in a week or two just to make sure everything is out. So he'll do one more ultrasound, and yeah, my doctor is awesome. He said you guys could probably try again like after 2 weeks if you want to, but we're not going to. I'm not ready to, so I don't know when we'll be ready to try, but that's okay, because yeah, we'll know once we're ready. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys my experience and just give you an update how I'm doing. So I'm doing good, and it will just take time, and I just want to thank you all for being there for us and for me, and just for all the support. It's honestly helping me heal so much. I don't know what I would do if I didn't tell anyone, and if you've dealt with this alone, I'm so sorry, because it would have been way worse if I didn't share my story. So hopefully now I can help others, or if you're going through this, I am so sorry, and just know it will be okay and you will get through this. And it is pretty common, which I had no idea. I mean, I knew people miscarry, but I didn't realize it's like 1 in 5 end up miscarrying in a pregnancy. So it makes me a lot more humbled for those who can't get pregnant, who are trying. Just how lucky I am to have a healthy baby boy, and I appreciate him so much more. And not that I didn't before, but you know what I mean. It puts it in perspective of how lucky I am, and I will be able to get pregnant again. So hopefully that next pregnancy I'll have my little rainbow baby, and once that happens I will of course share with you guys. But for now, we're not gonna try. We're gonna take a break and just enjoy our son. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video here because I keep on babbling. But thank you again for all the support, you guys. It truly means a lot from family and friends. And yeah, so hopefully this will help you guys if you're going through something similar. And you will get through this. It will make you stronger. So please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye, you guys.